Hello everybody, welcome to the I Am IT Geek YouTube channel. My name is Shabazz and as ever, I am the IT Geek. Welcome back to another episode and the final episode in my career, the I Am IT Geek career journey. So this is episode 7, I'm not sure, I kind of lost count. But I'm kind of spoken about a lot of, obviously where I started in my career, all the people that I've met, and my kind of trials and tribulations, you could say, some of the tougher parts of my career. This final episode is really going to cover where I am right now, and probably the last year and a half, really. And again, the sort of experiences I've had. The move to Australia as well, I'm going to cover that because that is part of my career journey. I've obviously covered it in other videos, which you can see on my YouTube channel as well. And a couple of final sort of shout outs, let's say, that I want to give to people who have been very important to me in the last year and a half, and some of the relationships that I've built as well. I hope, that the feedback that I've got has been really good. A lot of people have commented on my LinkedIn posts and obviously on here that they can they've been able to relate to kind of my career journey, which is really good to hear. Obviously, everyone's, no matter how much career journeys might seem like, everyone's is unique. Everyone has different things they've had to go through. Everyone has different sort of good spots and bad spots. Everyone different technologies and that sort of thing. And hopefully, for those who are watching, my career journey has resonated with you, and it's allowed you to see a bit more of who I am. And that was the whole point of this. I wanted to do a bit more personal. For people to see me as me, I'm Shabazz Dar, and I know I'm the IT geek, but I really want people to understand how I've got to where I am. A lot of it's been a lot of hard work. I've worked my ass off, I'm not going to lie, but a lot of it has also been down to the help and advice I've had from other people as well. So I think we all need to sometimes look at. No, I'll never believe someone who says, "Oh, I've got here all on my own." No, you've never. You've always had people that have been there to help you and been there to support you. So it's been very important to me to be able to say to those people in these videos, "Thank you." And that was a lot of what this whole series was about as well. I wanted to make it about other people and the help they've given me. So let's get cracking. So at this point, obviously, I've become a master at Netcompany. I've been a master for a good year and a bit at this point. And I've been mentoring. I've had the opportunity to mentor people, and one of the things I love about Netcompany is this mentor program they have, and it allows you to essentially build personal relationships with specific people that you are designated to. So I've had 5 or 6 people that I've been aligned to as their mentor, and essentially it's my job as their mentor to help them with their career. Not just their career, in my opinion, not just their career in Netcompany, but I think that's what it's around, but just generally their career, their career path, from my perspective, being a technical person, I've been fortunate enough to have other techies as my mentees. So I've really enjoyed being able to help them in their career journey, and hopefully one day they'll make a video and remember me. So we'll give a shout out to a few of those people, because again, those relationships that I've built with my mentees have been really important to me as well. So Nicholas Lewowski, one of my good mentees. All my mentees have been great, but Nick Lewowski I've kind of worked quite closely with as well when I was on a few projects we've worked together with. And the other is Tom O'Donoghue. Tom is one of the shining stars at Netcompany. Look out for this guy, because he's going to have a very, very promising career. Very driven, these are also young people as well. And then another one who is actually now a master at Netcompany is Stuart Dodd. So they're just 3 that I really want to give a shout out to. And Stuart Dodd is another one I've grown quite close with Stuart, being his mentor, and now we're both masters at Netcompany. So it's been great getting to know those 3 people specifically, and I've spent a lot of time with them over the last couple of years, being their mentors, and obviously working with them on various projects. So massive shout out to them. So again, it's been a really good year or so, and people might think, well, why are you moving away from Netcompany? I can honestly say there is no professional reason for me to move from Netcompany. Alhamdulillah, I've been blessed to work with such amazing people, such an amazing company. I've got a very good position there. I'm very, I get on really well with people. they listen to me from a technical perspective. You know, they take on board what I say, and I've got a lot of I'm very much a lot of the time I am asked a lot of for advice by the partners and the principals there. So I feel like I've got a really good gig at Net Company, and there's no professional reason for me to say, you know what, I'm not happy with this or I'm not happy with that. Don't get me wrong, every place has things that gripe you sometimes, and Net Company is no different. But 95% of the things there are great. And I've been enjoying my time. My whole thing around Australia is a personal choice. Like I said, I think I've been quite vocal around it on the video where I kind of announced it and I kind of explained my thought process. There are a lot of reasons that I'm kind of disillusioned with my life in the UK, being an ethnic minority. And I think now is the right time for me to do it. My kids are at the right age, the opportunity I've been given, to work out there. And it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and it could never happen again. And I think I'd regret it if I said no. So yeah, that's what the sort of reason for me kind of moving away from Net Company. But the last year I've been able to, not my whole time here, I've worked on some amazing projects. Unfortunately, because of ND, I can't talk about some of them, but I've got to go to some amazing places and meet some amazing people and work with some amazing clients. And the project and client that I've been aligned with for the last kind of, I'd say, year or so has been amazing. We've been doing some really niche things around Azure and Azure landing zones, around that sort of, around security. Again, I can't talk about it too much in detail, but it's been really enjoyable to be part of that. There's a lot of things that I've been doing at Net Company with my team, who I'll talk about in a second, and it's the first time any of this stuff's been done. First time it's been done at Net Company and within the industry, so it's been amazing to work on it and be the technical lead on that. So that kind of brings me to the next couple of people that I want to give a big shout out to. The first one is Alex Warren. Now, Alex is, I've grown very close to Alex in the last I'd say, 18 months or so. Obviously, I worked with him before that, and he's been based in Leeds office as well. Very young lad, but a very, very bright person. Really is really bright lad, very technical. It's been a pleasure to work with him. He's such, we play football with each other on a Monday night, and he's equivalent of my work wife, I think, is safe to say. He's taken this move, me going to Australia, quite hard to be fair, and he still moans about it. But I know, deep down, I know he wants the best for me, and he's got a very, very bright future at Net Company in general. Very smart guy. I'll put his LinkedIn in the description. So massive shout out to Alex Warren. He's been nagging at me to give him a shout out, so there you go. I have great banter with Alex, and again we've grown quite close, from a professional relationship perspective, and I'm sure we're going to stay quite in contact when I do leave. The other person is James Kirkland. So James is the account manager for one of the managers at Net Company. But again, I really feel like James has given me he's put a lot of trust in me. With this customer and client we've worked with in the last year or so, and it's actually been really fun working with him in a kind of partnership as like the technical lead. And I just want to say thank you to James as well for having that belief in me, because it has meant a lot to me. And this, I said the stuff we've been doing with this client has been very niche and very kind of industry leading. It's been so much fun to work on. Again, I kind of hint on it on some of my TikToks. I'm doing very detailed documentation for something can't really talk about it too much because it's quite sensitive. But again, it's been a pleasure to work on it, and the belief that James has had in me has been really great, because he's again, like I said, he listens to me. He's taken on my advice, and he's come to me for advice about technical things, and it's honestly, it's been really fun working with him. So again, just want to say a massive shout out to James Kirkland as well for the last sort of year kind of we've worked with together on this client. Now, as I mentioned, since I became a master at Net Company, I've had the privilege and honour of being a mentor to specific people. I myself, since I joined Net Company, when I first joined, I got a mentor. I was assigned a mentor, and this is the final person I'm going to really give a shout out to, because and again, this is not to demean my relationship with anybody else or say how important anybody else has been to me in Net Company, but this one person I've got to say has been probably by far the most influential person for me in Net Company, and they've been the biggest reason for how successful I've been, in my opinion, at Net Company. And that is David Lloyd. David Lloyd is my mentor, and he has been since the day I joined. I'm so fortunate that he's stayed my mentor throughout my journey in Net Company for almost 3 years now. And David and I, again, it's not like David's one of the principals in their company, and it's been, honestly, I'm so grateful that he's been my mentor, because whenever I've gone with him with a problem or a request, he's been so he's been so great with it, and it's just been, I've never had any issues or worries that I knew David was not able to help me with. And just his advice, I mean, I was so hesitant to talk to him about Australia so he was the first person I kind of mentioned it to, because obviously he's my mentor and I wanted to talk to him about it. And I was really dreading that conversation. It's always an awkward conversation, no matter which company. No matter which company I've done it. I'm always awkward when it comes to leaving places and kind of telling people. This is no different. But when I told David, he was just so happy for me, and his reaction, which meant so much to me, and it was so supportive. And I can't really describe how fortunate I am to have David as a mentor and a colleague. So thank you, David Lloyd, for all the sort of support and have you given me the last 3 years. It's been so much appreciated. Massive support and advocate of my MVP, and always pushing me with the content, and always saying he's watched my videos and stuff like that. So I'm really grateful. So thank you to David Lloyd, and that's the last person I kind of want to give a shout out to. So again, I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of good people in my career, and I think for one of the themes throughout this series, I've tried to emphasize how important those relationships are for in anyone in their career. Anyone who's young and coming up in the industry, build those relationships, because your network is so important, and that's why with this whole visa process, I needed to dig into my network to get help around applying for my visa. I had to go back to IDAS to ask for help. I had to go to Concord for help, and because I had those really close, tight relationships, I was able to get that help, and they were happy. They went out of their way to help me, like Neil and Craig and Sajjad Aslam. They went out of their way to help me, and again, it's because I built those relationships. I kept in touch with those people, and I ended my work there on good terms. I ended my careers there on good terms. So I'll always emphasize that to people. Build those relationships with people you work with, and keep those relationships. Build your network. And again, that network's allowed me to get that job in Australia. The network that I've built. The other thing as well I want to kind of emphasize is to people and the younger people who are coming up, be yourself in your personal and your professional life. Be yourself, because a lot of the times when I've mentioned 2 interviews specifically where it was my personality that got me the role, and that's what I'll say to everyone. Be yourself when you're interviewing, when you're working, and that's going to help you to be better at your job and to build those relationships that I've spoken about. So that's it. I've got to the point now in my career where this is where I'm at. I'm waiting to go to Australia to start a new chapter in my career. I'll be obviously vlogging and documenting that, and I hope you'll all be there for that journey. So that's me. That's Shabazz Dar's career up until now. That's the IMIT Geek career up until now. You can see the MVP that way. Not that way. I always get the point wrong. You can see the certificates up there. I'm 3-year MVP now, and all the stuff I've told you about, all the experiences, all the people that I've met, have helped me get there. The good, the bad, all the bad stuff especially, because that helps us get stronger. We learn from our mistakes. I've made so many mistakes in my career. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I've made no mistakes. I've made loads, but I've learned from them, and I've made me better. It's made me a better techie. It's made me a better consultant. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's what kind of builds your character. So that's it now. That's it from me. That's it for this series. I am working on, hopefully you'll see next week, I'm starting an SC200 exam series, the security operator series. So hopefully back to tech. So I hope everyone enjoys that. So thank you for the support with this. It's very important, was this personal kind of story that I want to tell, and I'm really overwhelmed by the support. Keep on hitting that like button, keep on subscribing. I'd be really keen to hear other people's career stories. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.